everyone, and welcome again to Leaders Uncut. And today it is my great pleasure to have with us Andrew Bolton, who is the CEO of Tech Rescue. Hello, Andrew. I'm so happy to have you here today with us.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so great. So I'd love to hear about your background, Tech Rescue. It seems to be so high tech, so edgy. So why don't you start with that, giving us a bit of a background about yourself, and then give us a little bit of an overview on Tech Rescue.
So my background comes from a sales background. I originally started my career in 2011 as a stockbroker and moved my way down that path. Made some money, lost some money, made a lot of unwise decisions in my mid 20s. I think the worst and best thing that could happen to any 20-year-old is you give them a lot of money early on. Yeah, we learned some valuable lessons during that period of time. I got into technology when I moved up to Boston, where I took over as senior vice president of sales at Verston, which was a artificial intelligence company that specialized in incident implementation. So on a closed ECN network, these incident reports created a analysis report that would then show predictability for live events in certain sections. Like Dallas, we found that we only had 30% of the city covered. Enrolling police coverage. We had contacts and implementations all over the world. So that was my first bridge into technology. And I later, during that period of time, got introduced to a gentleman where I took over as CEO of Easy Manage, which was a low-code, no-code APR platform system, which we sold out. I sold out my stakes for personal reasons. And then this is my second venture that we're moving on to. And Tech Rescue is a 24-hour customer service technology helpline for small businesses. And originally it started with my grandmother. I would be constantly heading over to her apartment over at Sunrise Living Centers here in New Jersey. And, one day I just asked myself, there's got to be something easier. There's got to be a better way to do this than getting in the car, going over, saying hi, spending 15 minutes about updates of, events in the community center, because, that's where she was. And then about 15, 20 minutes worth of helping her with a Bluetooth, helping her with Facebook or whatever it might have been. That's an hour out of my day. Mm-hmm. That's an hour and a half out of my day that now grant you, don't get me wrong, I love spending time with my grandmother, but I thought to myself, an hour and a half, almost 3 times a week, I can't be doing this. Like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Yeah. So we came up with Tech Rescue. My grandmother was our first client. She called into our hotline, which runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we handle almost everything. And as we're expanding, we're taking on new challenges with clients. We started getting into some interesting spaces that we're looking into, some partnerships that really could expand the company and offer a much wider range of services to our clients. But that's how we started. And what we found was this was something that a lot of people were dealing with, but not really talking about. And it's not that we don't appreciate the people that we love, right? And we love spending time with them and we love helping them. But at a certain point, you have to say, how much am I doing and how much is it affecting and costing me? For example, if we were to look at an example, let's say somebody was a lawyer and they're charging $500 an hour, right? Billable hours. Well, to do what I'm doing, that's costing them about $750 to go visit their mother and help them out with something. $750 3 times a week, that's real money that's adding up.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that they don't care about that person, but at the same time, you have to think of, my time's valuable too. And I love you to death, but I got things to do. So that's where we came in with our price point. So we offer our services for $30 a month. And for $30 a month, they have 24-hour access, 7 days a week. They call, they get a real person, not some maze, not some robot, not some chatbot, a real person. So when you're having problems, you pick up the phone, you want to talk to somebody. You get on the phone and you talk to your insurance agent. You have to press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. You have to wait 20 minutes to get somebody on the phone. No.
Yeah.
855-250-8586. You get a real person on the phone and we help you right then and there. 24 hours.
I love it. I love it. So let's just stop here because thank you first of all for sharing all this information. This is great. I think it's a highly needed service because lots of people, like you say, they have these issues. They don't know where to turn. They get frustrated and they don't want they just want to throw away their computers. That's it. I'm done. So
I may or may not have thrown a cell phone once or twice in my lifetime. I may have banged keyboards once or twice in my life.
I know. It can be, to me, there's nothing more frustrating than having technical issues. So believe me, I totally get it. So I have a couple of questions for you. First of all, can you give me examples of what are the main problems that people call you about?
So right now, post-holiday season, the number one call that we're getting right now is Bluetooth connectivity, password securitization, overall connecting to home, the home network. So a lot of people have, your Google Drive, you have your files, you have your pictures, you have your documents. And when, let's say you add an Echo, or let's say you add a Google Dot to your system, you plug it in and you're trying to figure it out. And the famous, Saturday Night Live skit where, the actors are trying to say Alexa, we really run into that problem. We really do.
Yeah.
We actually recorded we were fortunate enough to capture an incident with my grandmother and I, where she was having issues with Alexa because Alexa can control a lot of the smart homes, the lights, the locks, the cameras. And my grandmother was having a hard time trying to get Alexa to turn on and off the lights. So what we had to do is we had to rework with her. And that comes with patience. That comes with human interaction. That comes with, being empathetic to somebody.
Oh, yes.
Because they're having a frustration moment. So they call us and we're there. So right now, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of frustrated people who are trying to get things to just work. And we're telling our call centers to just smile, take a deep breath, and just walk them through it. Talk to them as if this is your Nona. Talk to them as if this is your mammy. Talk to them as if this is your pawpaw. That's what it's all about, is taking care of you as if you were our family.
Yeah, and that's important. And I'm sure you have a very strict selection of who you hire because you have to have people that are very patient, very empathetic, very kind by nature, because it is a hard job. It's very hard.
It is very hard. Thankfully, we have a very good partnership with our call center in the Carolinas. So any new members to that particular team go through the interview process. And then my mother and I, who is CFO of the company, we listen to some of their calls, their practice calls that come in. And we give them a yes or no, this person can jump on the bandwagon. Currently, right now, we have 15 call center members working down in that area that are handling the 24-hour rotation. So we run three shifts on our section, and we cover everything from midnight to the next day. We're available 24 hours a day, and it's not that we're going. I've had this joke before. Like, what's the latest call that you've ever gotten? And I said 3 a.m. so far. Believe it or not, seniors are still up, and the services are, utilized. Believe it or not, all hours of the day. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Is your marketing making an impact? Are you reaching the right audience? Is your messaging truly connecting? Are you maximizing your return on investment? At Slice Marketing, we use AI-powered insights to fine-tune your targeting, optimize your messaging, design high-converting websites, and craft content that inspires, entertains, and educates, or to amplify your brand's impact. Sometimes a small adjustment can create big results. Let's chat, no strings attached. Email us at catherine.oaks@slicemarketing.com or visit our website. So let's talk about your audience, because you speak a lot about seniors, but I would imagine you have people from all ages. Are you also servicing businesses?
Yes, we are starting to service small businesses. Believe it or not, our services is an interesting one, because we have two segments. We have our end user, and then we have our subscriber. Our subscriber ages tend to be anywhere between 27 and 48. That's where our bell curve is in terms of our customers, which, believe it or not, when we first founded the company, this age group and this age demographic was not something that we were looking at whatsoever in terms of our target purchaser. We originally thought, based off of the analysis that we had done through a third-party consultant, was the affluent senior group, which is ages 55 to 75. This group has disposable income. They're up and mobile. They travel more than any group in the world in terms of the demographics. They own more property than any demographics out there.
Mm-hmm.
So when we found that we were getting more towards the lower end, we realized that grandkids and children were subscribing their parents to it. It wasn't a direct one-to-one relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our user, which is usually ages so far that we've noted based on our client base is ages 67 to 85 right now is our range. Now, I expect that to grow as our publicity and our reach and our name starts to expand. I expect that to go up, but I'm curious, not even so much for the business as being successful. I'm curious as the data that we find out, because what we will find out, I think, in 2025 for our company is, where is it that people are having the biggest problems in terms of technology? Because we have all this technology out there, and yet I haven't seen somebody ask the questions, where are we lacking? Where are we having these, divots in functionality of our society in terms of our most affluent and skilled users of technology, which we see artificial intelligence being created. We see these incredible artificial intelligent games and pictures and stories being told by all these different creative types. But I'm curious to see where is it that we have the real functionality in our population demographic.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where that is.
That's important. That's going to be really interesting. But I can tell you that technology, you're going to see more and more of technology. There's so many gimmicks and tools, and I really believe seniors, the older generations, they love all these tools, and they're buying them, and they have the money to buy them. So they accumulate all these games and gimmicks, and not gimmicks, but just video, computers, and iPhone and whatever. But very often, I'm sure they're challenged with making sure everything works together, and everything has to be centered within the house. Everything has to be. So they are very demanding. But I really see what you are offering now becoming more and more crucial, because technology is now in everything we do. Absolutely everything we do.
One of the questions that we have gotten, and I'll answer it now before it even gets asked, is your younger audience and members who subscribe need to understand that when we think of computers, you need to close your eyes and picture yourself in a building in Manhattan, maybe on the 40th floor, maybe on the 30th floor. Picture a building completely, no rooms, no cubicles, just a big empty floor. When technology was really starting to evolve, those floors were mainframes. Those were computers, and the programs that we used were based off of card disk readers, punched holes into card disk readers, and they were doing large calculations. You may have seen type of machines in the movie Hidden Numbers, where the African
I
American women,
haven't.
NASA. Oh, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But that's how computers started, was this Technicode system and punch cards. Now, and this is the craziest part, the computer power that was back then when computers first started is dwarfed on an unimaginable scale. I can't even begin to explain the dwarf scale that you have. It would be like taking a marble and comparing it to Jupiter.
Mm.
That the technology that we have in this little thing right here,
Yeah.
never been dreamed of. Never.
But wait, because let's see what happens with quantum computing.
Oh, I would say, and it's actually funny that you bring this up, because prior to the show, I was preparing myself for this. Because we're creating our next fiscal report and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for the next fiscal year. So in 2024, the new holiday season that just passed, we had $989 billion spent in the holiday season. That's up 3.8% from last year. Clothing and apparel was the top choice. But what we found interesting was millennials are now starting to shift in terms of purchasing power. And they average spent was $2,200 a year. But as you mentioned, what we've been thinking, and we now have it confirmed based off of this new 2024 holiday report, is wearable technology is where we're going to be heading to. So at Tech Rescue, we will be shifting some focus on understanding the components and the manufacturing processes of wearable technologies and how we as a company can better offer those services. So, for example, we had $178 billion spent this year alone on wearable technology. Thomson Reuters, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the Boston Group have all done studies and all have done, future forecasting that for 10 years from now, we're expected to increase at 13.5% to $635 billion.
Wow, I'm not surprised. I mean, hey, this is also fashion when you think of it, because look
Exactly.
now, people want things. I mean, as a woman, gosh, I'd love to wear one of these suits. I don't have to do my hair. It's all hidden. I mean, you look at science fiction, they don't have hair. You don't see hair most of the time, right? It's covered, and you have a mask, and you have all the tools in there that you can access, all your computers. It's all one beautiful suit. So it's funny because I really believe this is a huge niche that you're going to have to master.
It's no longer a matter of if. It's that conversation is off the table. As of now, the conversation is off the table. Technology is where we are going. Artificial intelligence is where we are going.
Yeah.
The adaptability of a massive, integrated world is where we are going. Everything, if you look at technology, and this is where our business, it has all this opportunity, because blenders are now Bluetooth. Televisions are Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Dishwashers are Bluetooth. Refrigerators are Bluetooth. Ovens are Bluetooth. Washing machines are Bluetooth. All of these things are getting smart technology to be run through a central house system, which can be run through your Alexa or Google Dot. So as we make it more and more and more and more technologically connected, we're making it more complicated. And at the end of the day, we're going to let some people fall behind. And Tech Rescue's philosophy is we're not letting anybody fall behind. We're here to help.
And you'll have that. So I think you're going to play a critical role. Of course, as long for you, it's a lot of work, because you will have to understand all of this, master it all, so that you can really assist people in fixing whatever challenges they are having. But it's a fascinating field. I really believe you are at the forefront of something here, and that you had a vision, and in a way that really happened at the right time.
I think so as well, because we have competitors in this space. We have Senior World through AARP, but unfortunately, they only host a large library of videos. We have Kirby Technologies that are limited in certain areas. We have Cyber Seniors, which only works in a small group of the United States, and they only have small relative business hours. So we are the only company that is 24 hours. We are scalable across the world. Right now, we're only in Canada and the United States to basically solidify our services and make sure that we're offering the best product and the
Yeah.
best service possible.
Yeah.
But we can go global internationally by the end of the week.
Yeah.
We can-
Plus now with language translations
Oh,
tools, right? It's so
well,
easy.
Well, the beautiful thing is our call centers that we utilize and our partnerships that we have and starting to build, we can have international calls
Same.
within days of getting the right people in place who speak those languages and train them in our methodologies. That's not hard to do. And I know that's where we'll be heading eventually, because we do know, based off the reports that we've had done for us, we have 73% of seniors ages 65 or older who have said that they have difficulties with new devices. So as Apple sends out a new phone every year, you have a whole massive group of people that are dreading the new phone because they have to update everything. Once you get a new phone, now you have to put all that information in. And grant you, it's a very easy process, but if you're not comfortable doing it, that's something that, adheres to you going ahead and doing another purchase. We have 26% of seniors ages 65 or better who actually feel confident in technology. And this is the part that we really take concern with, is 15% of the entire population of seniors 65 or older who are home, that are not in a facility, that are not in, assisted care. 15% of all seniors don't have access to that kind of technology. They don't have an Echo. They don't have a Google Drive. They have just a standard computer. So how do you do things? Well, you can call us. We'll help you. Any way that you have a problem, we'll take care of. So a senior that's homebound, that's receiving, let's say, helping hands, that's receiving Meals on Wheels, a senior that's at home doesn't have to feel like they're stuck. The whole world is out there, and we can help you connect to it. All you have to do is just pick up the phone.
Yeah, but not only that, my mother, who is now 85 years old,
God bless her.
She's in a retirement community, and she's surrounded by people, but she doesn't see as well, and everything for her is a challenge. I mean, that's something I'm sure you would need to address, because a lot of them, they are lost, or they get frustrated because they don't see well. They don't even know where to start. So I would imagine services to people like that have to be highly catered.
No, and the entire company, the whole entire company was based off of my grandmother, who had severe macular degeneration, which started.
That's what it is. Yes.
She had macular degeneration when she was 90. It started. She fought it off. She fought it off for years, and it finally came. And when she had her car accident, she started losing her hearing. So she had the hearing aids, which now are Bluetooth. So you can control the hearing and adjust the type of hearing just from your cell phone, which frustrated her.
Yeah.
For example, for your audience, my cousins, all within the ages of 30 to 27, 35, I'm the middle one. When they were getting married, we would go to these, the wedding, and, it would be loud. It would be loud for somebody with, hearing aids. And she would get, her hands would, trying to see the phone and trying to adjust, the Bluetooth on her hearing aids got frustrating for her.
Yeah.
So we would be helping her constantly. Now, if somebody doesn't have that with them, gaining access is not a hard thing to do. We can gain access and adjust things right there on the fly. As long as you have a Bluetooth connectivity, we can help.
See, and that's so critical, because I can tell you how many times she calls me. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? I'm like, I don't know how I could try to help you. Hold on just a minute. I will cut that off.
Of course.
I have my dogs driving me crazy. Let me put them out. Go out. We'll cut that. So, I have two 10-month-old golden retrievers. They are nuts.
Oh, they are. So to deal with golden retrievers, and because I have two dogs myself, soup bones. You go to the local butcher and you get the big marrowed bones.
Oh, I get that all the time. You know how long it lasts? 10 minutes. It's just,
Oh,
it never ends.
at least it's a
Anyway,
healthier choice.
yes. Side apart. So where were we? Yeah, we were talking about the elderly. Yes, so let's go back to that. But yeah, this is a critical service that is so highly needed because it would, you know, I'm sure that you would have, you'd be able to find some sponsorship from the likes of Apple and Microsoft because they would sell more products if they had this type of assistance offered, don't you think?
Yes, but in defense of Apple or somebody like Samsung or Sony, in terms
Yeah.
of their wearable technologies, or even
Mhm.
Garmin is a big one. I would sure they would want to see, really proof, the stats to, see where that could be something that they
Of
could work
course,
in.
of
And
course.
as our popularity grows and our services are looked at as useful as people hopefully find them to be,
Yeah.
at the end, and and this is where we've had discussions, my mother and I think and this is a little bit more personal and opinionated, but I think what we need to have are companies start going back to the old ways of doing things. What I mean by that is, if you start a business and you start a business trying to help people, I think that's the best way to go about it, because if you try to do good in the world, good will come back. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you find out that you're helping people, then the profitability isn't as important as trying to help.
And it will come. It will come to you. I really believe when you have this type of attitude,
Yes,
it comes back to you. It always does.
and that's where we've been trying to hope. We want to be profitable. Yes, we'd like to expand our market share. Yes, we'd like to be able to offer ourselves, in a much bigger demographic. But at the end of the day, I hope what we're doing is making somebody's day just a tad bit better.
Yeah.
It's frustrating out there, and knowing that you have somebody that you can call to help with at least just one,
Yes,
just
of course.
just at least one, if you could just solve one problem today. If
It's
somebody
a-
could just, and that's what I think, and I think that's where we find ourselves being right now in terms of the market. We are that one thing that we can take off your plate. That's who we are.
And that's
And
huge because I can tell you, the older you get, the more those little problems that seem little to you or to myself are huge for someone who's 80 or 90 years old. It takes a dimension. I see my mother getting so upset with just a little tiny technical issue that she's dealing with. So it's a real lifeline that you are offering here.
it is. And when we are able to accomplish what I would like to accomplish with a few partnerships that we've been discussing and working on, I think we can bring ourselves to the small business community and position ourselves as a really good option. What I can say to this is that when we started and tried to get our message out, we were contacted by marketing teams. The amount of money that was asked of us was, $3,000 management fees and a $7,000 budget for marketing. I said, if I had 10,000 to spend, I'm not spending it. I'm saving it.
Yeah.
I remember what it was like in college to be broke. So, I'm saving it.
Yeah.
So when I stopped and thought about, how many delis, how many pizzerias, how many car washes, how many gas stations, how many small little bodegas in New York City, how many small little businesses can afford just enough, but not some super package that is, from a major company. And I thought, well, we'll keep the price the same. We'll keep everything the same. And we'll offer the same services to everybody. So whether you're an individual or a company, you can get the same services. because at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is just make things a little bit easier. That's all we're trying to do.
And that's important because at least you're making it affordable, and it's a great way to grow your brand recognition. It's a
And that,
great
you know,
way
and
to get referrals too.
that's the other thing too. And
Yeah.
I would say right now in the economy as well as the political sphere, we're having a very serious conversation that needs to happen in terms of the prices of things. You know, the way things
Yes.
are
Oh
priced
my
out.
God. Oh my God. Tell me about that. Yeah.
I'm Here's my feeling. A company wants to be profitable. My question is, how profitable do you want to be? You know, after how many, how much is enough? And grant you, business in America is a very interesting sport to play. But
Yes.
at the same time,
Yeah.
when I saw the interview from the CEO of Arizona Iced Tea, where he's keeping his teas and cans at $1, I said to myself, that's the way to do it. If you do right by people, everything else will come. So we're gonna keep our pricing the same.
Yeah. I think it's a good strategy because a lot of it is based on greed, where you say it's never enough anyway.
No,
And then you have ethics that come to place, and a lot of people have not been ethical. But I really believe they are going to be forced to. I think a shift is coming where all these corrupted behaviors will have to change. They won't have a choice.
well, this is the question I ask. I've sat down, I've gone to these conferences to try to learn and try to be a better, business owner. And I ask, when are we going to not have any more customers? Because if we keep squeezing,
Hmm.
who's going to afford a product?
I know. I know that this is a great question. So, I mean, we could speak about this for hours. Really, that's amazing. So, what I'd like to know, Andrew, if you can just let us know, let my audience know,
Mhm.
what's the best way to get hold of you if they want to speak with you?
You can go to Tech Rescue's website at
Okay.
www.techrescue.io,
Okay.
or you can go to help@techrescue.io.
Perfect. And we put this in the comment area on the video. And then lastly, I ask all my guests to share something that you have learned in your life, something maybe inspiring or something that would open the doors for someone who is not sure what to do with their lives now. So some great inspirational parting words. What would that be?
That's a great question. I would say to any audience that doesn't know where they're going or what they want to do, I'm going to ask you a question that somebody asked me, which sent me down a path. What makes you happy?
Mm.
And it can't be a thing, it can't be a place. It's something that makes you happy every single day. If you could wake up, don't worry about the price of milk, don't worry about the gasoline in your car. If you could do something every day for the rest of your life, what would you do?
Mm.
And believe it or not, if you start walking in that direction, you might get there, but you might get there in ways that you never thought possible. You might get there in a whole different way that wasn't on the map.
Yeah.
Trust the process, believe in yourself, and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Because it will test you. Starting a business, I would say this to any young entrepreneur. If you start this journey, entrepreneurship, you will become obsessed or you will fail.
That's
So,
beautiful.
or
Yes.
because you
Yeah.
have to become obsessed.
Yeah.
You're studying your market, you're studying your competition, you're studying your product, you're studying the world, the economy as a whole, because every little thing affects you.
Yeah.
So either A, you become obsessed, or B, you will fail.
Yeah.
So so ask yourself this, what makes you happy? What would make you happy to do for the rest of your life?
This is beautiful and such wisdom, Andrew. It's beautiful. In fact, Steve Jobs said, in order to succeed when you have a new business, you have to be insane because sane people don't make it.
No, no. Starting with this, I was doing construction as well, so I would be up at 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
checking emails, getting ready to go to a job site. On lunch, I would be checking emails. I would be working with our development team to build the website.
Yeah.
When I got home, I spent time with the family and stuff, but it would be working late into the night. It's all you do. It's all you're obsessed with.
it is. You're right. It's a way of life. It is hard, but it's very rewarding too. It's
It
the
is.
best. It's the best thing I've ever done, and I'm addicted now to being an entrepreneur because there's so much change that you can initiate in life. There's so many people you can inspire along the way, and I think it is the way to be because there's so much innovation coming our way.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Andrew. Just
Oh,
so
thank
wonderful
you.
to have you here with me
It was
today.
a pleasure.
Thank you for
Please,
your time.
anytime. I'd love to have these conversations again.
Okay, we'll do that again. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to share this video and share Andrew's story. It's very important to help me out, spread the word, spread the good, because there's so much I can do on my own. So I need your help. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Thank you again, Andrew, and see you very soon.
Thank you so much for having me.